tricks, hooks, headlines, attentions, grabs. I'm not really that into it, because if it's fake and it's not an extension of who you are, look at what you're marketing, you know?
Tommy, you do all of our marketing for Mantastic, and you've tried not doing it yourself before. It hasn't worked out quite as well. So take the lads through the marketing part of our framework.
Yeah, marketing. Obviously, everyone knows marketing through business, right? So our language around marketing is to not be a ninja. If you've got the best man brand in the world, either personal or business, like a great product, and people don't know you exist, you can't really help anyone, right?
Best kept secret.
You're the best kept secret. A ninja, sneaking from environment to environment without being noticed. So you got to think of it from a bit of twofold, right? Like if you've got a man brand, both personally or business that you love, you want to market it. Like you feel like the world fucking needs this, I've got to get it out there. Personal man brand, if you know you're a great guy, like you're a single dude, you're a great guy, you know your values, your money's sorted, you're in shape, like you've then got permission to market. If your man brand's not sorted, you shouldn't be marketing just yet. You need to go back and do product development and man branding. From a business point of view, when you love your brand and more importantly, you love the impact that it makes. When someone comes into your world and they get involved with your business, and the change, like the ROI from them getting involved with you, is amazing, and you've got that dialed, well, you really want to market it and shout it from the rooftops, right? So the first thing I want to get across is marketing. You really need to look at your brand. And the measure that I use internally for Mantastic is, am I proud of this? That is the end, full stop. Like whether that be a Mantastic Life Day, our program, front end stuff, whatever it might be, it's like, am I proud of this? And the answer is yes. And so therefore we want to take it to the world. If you look at that, then it's just like, well, what's the best way for us to do that? Now we use events, right? Because I don't really think there's anything more powerful than getting 50 like-minded business owners in a room and talking, let's kick ass in business and life. But for, if you look at any business, you really got to look at, number one, what's the journey the customer's going to go on? And then number two, what place are your strengths? Like that. Are you a good writer? Are you good, from an auditory point of view? Are you good on camera? And start, we've had some people come in and they don't want to market because they're worried about, I'm going to get criticized, or I've got to be on camera, or someone's going to see my ads. I think when you love your man brand, it goes back to what I said before, there's that side of impact, which is like, fuck, I actually want to make a difference. I'm going to get out of my own way here, and I'm going to take this exceptional product, this exceptional man brand to the world and show who I am. And I think when you do that, which is why I go back to man branding, you get that right, people pick up on it because it's different, it's unique, and they take that first step. From a marketing point of view, just big picture in business, I love the term, and I got taught this, it's like a series of best next steps. So you think about, what journey does someone need to go on to get into my world, and then how do I build that into a system? Both of us, you run 3 businesses at the moment, I'm sole Mantastic. Any business we've ever touched, we've been big on building a marketing engine where you're bringing the direct number of, leads, as far as you'd call it, like into your world that you need to hit your financial goals. So I think that's something that you want to think about, is not having hopium-based marketing, but a predictable engine, and then bringing them in a way that's on brand, that's actually a cool journey, which they love and you vibe with, where they take each step along the way. So
we hear about this all the time with guys that go super, super marketing heavy in terms of paid ads, meta lead generation, but they don't have their core message sorted.
Yeah.
They get a whole bunch of unqualified leads that become more of a hassle because the core isn't there, right?
Yeah, you've got, I think, 2 metrics is lead volume, which is obviously just a metric. It's a top end metric, but then you've also got lead quality. And if you think about what you do, and your customer, and how they think, how they feel, and understand your brand, then you've probably got a good way to warm people up like a microwave to get to know you, where when we get to the next role, which is sales, it's not as much of a heavy sell. It's more someone buying because they actually dig your shit. And I think what people often lack, particularly in the business front, is just a system to do that predictably and with the right numbers to produce the optimal level of, the output that you want. So from a business point of view, marketing is just showing the world who you are. If you've got a great product, a great service, you love what it does for people, you need to be a good marketer, because if you can't market, you'll make zero impact, So it's worth having a think about, what impact do I actually want to make? From a personal point of view, marketing has to do with building your board, it has to do with building your brotherhood, if you want to get a squad of legends around you that you go golfing with, or that you go do drives with, like car days with, whatever it might be, that's all marketing. And for the single dudes listening to this too, that's all marketing as well. Funny story, we've had a number of guys who've come in, maybe they've been in after a divorce, and so they've recently become single. So now their marketing department is obviously thinking differently when they were in a relationship. And the first thing they've done is they've gone marketing. And there's been a number of people, I don't want to say sentence because it's not the language, strongly suggested do their bachelor degree in being a bachelor. Just spend a year single. Spend a year on your man brand, your product development, internally knowing I've got a fucking great product, because how you market that is different. So marketing is just taking you to the world, the message, who you are and what you stand for. And that's why I was saying before, like tricks, hooks, headlines, attentions, grabs, I'm not really that into it, because if it's fake and it's not an extension of who you are, well, look at what you're marketing. Equally, what we were saying on man brand, someone lands on your Instagram, lands on your Facebook, lands on your LinkedIn, your YouTube, whatever it might be. You got to think what message that you're putting out. You and I both know this through owning multiple businesses over the years. You're always marketing. Like people, we've put a big emphasis on dressing well, dressing to our brand. You don't know where you're going to bump into someone, an airline lounge, walking through. I've met people walking through LAX who know me, which is who I went to university with 10 years later, just walking through LAX. Tommy. So you never know. Lights are always on. Camera's always rolling. You have to think about that. You have to think about your brand, the standard that you want to set. And like I said, if you've got an impact that you want to make, you should market unapologetically if you've got and find a system that works, that suits you to bring people into your world predictably. That's what I think marketing is.